Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rajul Hassan. So this is our upnotion episode 2 on virtual influencer. To introduce myself, I'm Dr. Rajul Hassan, who is working as an assistant professor at Maynooth University, Ireland.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Ahmed. Right now I'm doing my PhD. I'm in the second year. So I'm doing my PhD on the virtual influencer at the School of Business, Maynooth University. Thank you so much, Dr. Raj, for inviting me to this episode.
Thank you. Uh, the Professor Joseph Koglan and I'm Dr. Rajul Hassan. We both are supervisors of Ahmed. We are working in a research project related to virtual influencer. So far, Ahmed has discovered so much information about virtual influencer, and we are going to talk about it. But just to go on before that, like the importance of this kind of topics is to explain a little bit. What happened in marketing? We have, like, in the last 60 years, marketing has changed a lot. Like, we have seen marketing 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, different ways of how marketing is seeing the customers, and it's all changing also because the technologies is changing, and nowadays we can see is that there is a lot of implications of social media, and then we have now virtual influencer being used for marketing. So Ahmed, I asked Ahmed to talk about the virtual influencer. Ahmed, you want to talk about it?
Yes, okay. So before talking about the virtual influencer, I will try to talk about a little bit the social media influencer. So nowadays, actually, all of us, we know the social media and we are living in the era of the social media. So in the social media, those people are called the social media influencers who have the influence and the persuasions power over their followers and the subscribers, and they actually post their lifestyle segments and various type of contents on the social media, and the followers actually follow their digital contents, and in this way the social media influencers can influence their followers. So based on this premise, actually back in 2016, a Los Angeles based startup called Brood, they came up with a virtual influencer. Now, you might be a little bit intrigued, like what is the virtual influencer? Okay, so virtual influencer are basically avatar-based, digitally created influencers, and they are being created with an advanced computer graphical design and definitely some sort of artificial intelligence behind their creation, and they are actually created with a kind of online personality, with a kind of similarity with the human being in terms of the features, characteristics, and these virtual influencers actually made accessible to the social media. They have their social media accounts on the Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Even some of the virtual influencers have their account on the YouTube as well. And yes, I would say that like virtual influencers are purposefully created in order to influence the social media users, and obviously like for the marketing activities. So now I will little bit talk about who are the creators of the virtual influencers. So to my opinion, like most of the virtual influencers definitely are created by the human beings. So there is a team of, there is a, I mean, production team behind each virtual influencer. So they create the back stories of the virtual influencer, their digital contents, they manage they manage overall the marketing and the promotion of the virtual influencers, and they manage their followers and the subscribers, and the behind the people actually deal with the promotion and the brand endorsement of the virtual influencers with different business identities nowadays. So viewers, you might be a little bit intrigued, like who follow those virtual influencers. Now let me tell you a little bit numbers on the virtual influencer. Nowadays, like as I mentioned, like Brood, they came up with the most famous celebrity virtual influencers called the Lil Mikoila.
And you can see Lily Michaela on the screen. It will be there. Yeah.
Okay, so Lil Mikoila is a kind of 19 years Brazilian American, very cute girl, and she is a kind of pop star, and she is very much known for her fashion statement, I would say that. Now, is it possible for you to gauge like how many number of followers she might have on her various social media accounts? Okay, let me tell you. At this moment, as of today, Lil Mikoila has more than 3 million followers on her Instagram account. Can you believe that? And Lil Mikoila has more than like 3.6 million followers on her official TikTok account. And on her TikTok account, Lil Mikoila already received like 47.2 million likes. And besides this, Lil Mikoila has like 1.2 million followers on the Facebook account and approximately like 280,000 followers on her YouTube accounts. Now, Lil Mikoila is not only one virtual influencer in the social media platform. We have more than hundreds virtual influencers currently operating in our social media, like the Shurugram, then the Imagram, then the Nonori, and very first virtual influencer from the India known as the Kaira. Okay, now I will little bit talk about the virtual influencers brand endorsement. Okay, till date, Lil Mikoila has teamed up with the several reputed global fashion brands called the Prada. Lil Mikoila has teamed up with the the Samsung Galaxy back in 2019. And even in 2020, when the COVID-19 has started, World Health Organization actually partnered with a famous male virtual influencer from the Atlanta, USA. He is called like the Knox Frost. So WHO partnered with the Knox Frost to disseminate the health hygiene and the several type of COVID-related safety information through the Knox Frost to disseminate their target customers. And apart from this thing, like the Nonori, the very first virtual influencers from the Japan, I would say that she has actually worked with the Nike and the IKEA back in Japan, and there are several virtual influencers who actually teamed up. For example, the Indian virtual influencer called the Kaira, she actually right now working with so many small firms back in India to promote. She is known as a like traveler. So it means that now in this current marketing landscape, in the influencer marketing, virtual influencer is emerging day by day. And in terms of the attraction from the social media users, I would say that there is a survey result which has been published by UK-based social media analytics firm. According to their survey report, like the 52% of the UK social media followers have a kind of positive attitude to the virtual entities. Although the survey result cannot be generalized, but to some extent it can be perceived that okay, virtual influencers can be liked by the social media followers or users, and they can be used by the various reputed brands, like the luxury brands. Okay, actually I forgot to mention one very important fashion endorsement by the virtual influencers. I have talked about the Shudogram, like the famous fashion brands of the France called the Balmain Paris. So they are very much famous luxury fashion brands. Actually, they have teamed up with the Shudogram to promote their luxury fashion statement to their target customer. So it means nowadays virtual influencers are being partnered and endorsed by the famous luxury brands. And one more thing I would like to say, like nowadays I have seen a kind of emerging trend from the own big brands. They are actually creating their own virtual influencer. So it is very important for all of you to know, like the KFC, like famous chicken fry brand, they came up with their very own virtual influencer Colonel. So if you go to the KFC website, you can see the very smart dashing VI Colonel. And apart from this thing, like the Renault, very famous automotive brand, they actually came up with their own virtual influencer, and her name is Liv. Even Prada has came up their own virtual influencer. So it means like nowadays famous brands have actually working on creating and developing their own avatar-based entities to promote their brands and products to their target customers.
Thanks a lot. That's you can see that there's a lot of exciting things happening in business and and there is a lot of application in marketing as well. The virtual influencer is being used quite a lot. I want to ask Ahmed, like to really tell to our audience that what are the advantage of using virtual influencer or disadvantage, and what could be the future of this?
Okay, so first I will talk about like what are the benefits like virtual influencer can provide to the brands. So in order to working with the virtual influencers from the brand point of view is numerous. First of all, brand has the full control on the virtual influencers from the brand endorsement perspective. How? Like brand can control the virtual influencer promotion campaign according to their brand needs, brand culture, their products, their everything. So if the virtual makes any mistakes, the brand can easily remove from the social media content, and they can replace that mistaken content with the new content. So it is a very easy task for the brand to work with the virtual influencer rather than working with the human influencer. But please, this is only my opinion, don't take it for granted. I'm not against of the human influencer. Okay, number two, virtual influencer is very much cost efficient for the brands. How? Because whenever the brands actually working with the human influencer, they need to provide the fooding, the dressing, the makeup, maybe the international flight, travel, so many arrangements, so many people. So whenever brands will work with the virtual influencer, they don't need to worry about this thing. So it would be really cost friendly for the brands to work with the VI because they are actually non-existent. They only exist on the social media, on the digital world. And another important benefits that like the VI can disseminate, VI can transfer to the brand is that like virtual influencer can work actually 24/7, 365 days in a year for the brands. So it depends on the brands like how they are going to utilize the virtual influencer in promoting their products and services. And apart from this thing, in terms of benefits, I would say that a virtual influencer can work at multiple places with multiple brands at the same time, because it is very much easier for the creators of the VI to replicate because they are digital. So these are the basically positive sides of the virtual influencers for the brands to work with.
Thank you. What are the disadvantages you think in the future?
Okay, so in my opinion, based on my observation, I would say that to work with VI, there is a yes little bit concerns like the ethical concerns, I would say that. So influencer brand fit would be a main concern for the brands. For example, I have seen like the famous VI Lil Miquela has worked with the luxury fashion brand. So, but I haven't seen that the Lil Miquela has worked any kind of food brand. So, from the consumer perspective, it might be a little bit less convincing if I see, or if the consumer see like, okay, a VI is promoting a food brands and they are consuming foods or drinks and they are saying that okay, it's really tasty. So yes, to that extent it would be a little bit concerning issues for the VI. So maybe VI cannot be fitted to all brands, to all food categories, sorry, all product categories. So these are the concerns, and still I would say that this is a very niche area in the marketing, like the virtual influencer. If it gets saturated, if it gets overwhelmed, so maybe in future it will lose its attraction from the brands, because brands can develop their own VI. So still it depends on the future marketing trend.
Thanks a lot, Ahmed. That's I think our audience will find all these details very interesting, because virtual influencer is very new and there is still lots going on, and we are doing some exciting research as well. So I'll request our audience, like if you really like our video, put a thumbs up, please like our channel, subscribe to our channel, or like our page. So that will be really great. And thanks a lot. We'll come back with more videos. And yeah, so thank you.
Thanks.